Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. I'm Kristin Omdahl, and this is episode 596. If you are joining me live, please say hello. We are in my tropical backyard in Southwest Florida. You can hear the birds are already singing this morning. We heard the church bells for a second. The kitties are being very playful out here this morning, so let's see what happens. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Hi, Diane. Hi, Lisa. Good morning. The birds are really loud. Hi, Judy. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Grace. Hi, Nora Sue. Hi, Jane and Christine. Good morning. Hi, Lucy. Happy Thursday, everybody. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Carrie and Constance. Hi, Patricia. Thank you. Hi, Joyce and Gay and Mariana and Barb. Good morning. I love coral. Hey, get down. What are you doing, monkey? Hi, Lily. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Jill. Yeah, the birds are amazing this morning. Probably why the kitties are so playful. Hi, Naomi and Lorraine and Trina. It's Kristin time. That's funny. That's great. When will I be at the beach again? Sharon wants to know. Well, the beaches were opened, a week ago, and they're packed. So I have no intention of going down there for a while still. I need to be able to feel comfortable that people are keeping their distance and I can get a semi-private, at least, ring around me. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. 2 Joes in a row. So I haven't figured out the beach yet. I actually haven't even stepped foot on the beach yet. Happy birthday, Constance. I missed a name before that. Hi, Stacy. Good morning. Yeah, so I haven't even attempted to ride my bike to the beach yet. I rode my bike by the beach and the parking lots are full and it's packed there, and I've heard from other people that there really isn't much social distancing going on there. So I just rather stay home a little longer until I feel comfortable that, the novelty's worn off and it's back to at least regular traffic, not extra traffic there. So if you can bear with me in my backyard a little more. Hi, I think that was a Cindy. Did I see Cindy? Yes, hi Cindy and Margaret and Irene. Good morning. Oh, you want to come say hi now? Baby Bjorn wants to come say hi. Hi, sweetheart. Yep, I'd rather be safe and healthy than sorry, so yeah, I'm going to wait a little longer. Thanks for your support, everybody. I appreciate it. Hi, Linda. Hi, G. Oh, you're staying. Yeah, that's the same I've heard here too, Christine. Nobody was following guidelines at the beach, so that's fine. I'm not going to judge people for what they want to do, but I'm going to make my own choices. And my choice is to stay home for now. Hi, Judy. Good morning. All right, well, welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast, everybody. This is episode 596. Can you believe it? So what will that mean? Probably next Thursday, we'll be celebrating the 600th episode of the podcast. Really wild. So glad you all could be here. The plants are doing great. Maybe we'll do a plant update today. My tomato plants actually look like they're getting strong. Would you like to see the plants? Here, let's take a little quick look around here. So my bigger plants, the fern and the spider plant, both just luscious and full and huge. This one, the fern feels like it's growing to me, but whatever, I'm not sure. I wanted you to see, though, that my mandevilla is really taking to the trellis. Can you see how high up the vine is growing? Look at that. It's really taking to it. And remember how I experimented with adding a trellis to the mint because it wasn't standing up well on its own? Well, it's taking to it very well too. So it looks like I may end up having a vining mint plant here. We'll see. My green onions are doing great. Looks like it's time to cut them again. I'm not sure they're going to last though. The root system looks kind of gross in there. I mean, I keep cutting them and they keep growing, but and eating them and then regrowing, but I'm not sure how long they're actually going to last. My basil is looking unbelievable. So that was a little puny plant that I bought at Walmart in the produce department for like $3. It was about that tall. And I haven't cut any off yet, but it looks like I might have enough to make a beautiful batch of pesto right now. Does anybody know what the proper way is to cut it off to use it so that it still grows? Do you actually cut with a knife? Do you just pull the leaves off? What is the way to cut it so that the plant stays healthy and vibrant and thriving? I'm sure somebody will know. Both of these orchids are doing fabulous. But what I wanted to show you is look at how hardy. Cut the stem, don't pull the leaves off. Thank you, Judy. Look at how hardy the stems are getting, which will be the stalks, I guess, of my tomato plants. They're about 4 to 5 inches long now and looking great. My lemon is barely growing at all, but it looks fine. And my collard greens look like they're way too many in that pot. But last time I tried to separate my peppers into a bigger pot, they didn't grow anymore. So I don't know how long these guys are going to take to get over the shock of being cut up, so we'll see. And then look at all of the flowers on the plumeria. Just dozens. So beautiful. And we've got all the bougainvillea back there. Marlon's little pool that his friend dropped off and he never uses, but anyway, it's there. It actually made taking photos of the 2 new patterns yesterday morning very difficult because it kept getting in the way. So I'm going to need to ask him to take it down if he's not going to use it. As if you recall, I posted 2 new patterns yesterday, the Trixie crochet pullover and the Paloma crochet pullover, and I did a quick photo shoot of both of them yesterday morning before the podcast, and so it was really difficult to navigate getting photos done in the backyard without getting that big old pool in the photos. Guess I could have moved it too. I was in quite a rush. I think I gave myself like 10 minutes before the podcast to get both photo shoots done. Is there a video? Is there a video for what? Oh, if you're asking about videos for patterns just released yesterday, no, not yet. Thanks, G. I have my hair in a bun this morning. My hair's finally getting long enough to do fun buns again. So I have a bun, and what I do is I make a bun, and then once I secure it with bobby pins, then I can pull smaller pieces out so it gets fuller, and what a great way to wear the Sandy scrunchie. And I love wearing pink with coral, so wearing my pink scrunchie and Be So Sporty yarn with the coral top, I just think is such a great combination. Probably should have gone with brighter lipstick too, because I usually wear brighter lipstick with brighter clothes, but I put on my makeup for a different outfit. Thank you, Sylvia. I love this bright coral. In fact, I'm working on a fabric collection right now for a couple of things. For my Redbubble shop, for one thing, so we can buy ready-made stuff in the pretty fabrics, but also for my Spoonflower shop so that we can have beautiful fabrics that coordinate with my yarns for purse linings, and maybe even to start working on some dresses. I don't know about you, but I am really excited to get back into sewing once I'm inspired by the fabrics. I would love to make some super simple things to teach you guys, like how to make a dress without a pattern, how to make a skirt without a pattern, how to make simple clothes. It's really fun. The new pattern top, can making it open in the front. I'm not sure what you're saying, Lily, but if you're asking if you can make either one of them into cardigans, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Just my dream would be to make simple sundresses and simple skirts to go with crochet shrugs, cardigans, and pullovers. That's my goal, or even making simple, like pajama style pants, but making them in elevated fabrics so that they just look like palazzo pants, or, you know, kind of like a linen or even a silk blend or something sheer, and making beautiful pants to wear with crochet tops would be so pretty for evening or cruise wear or stuff like that. Yeah, there's lots of ways to figure out how to sew clothes without traditional pattern making. Some of it has to do with pulling things from your closet, and some of it has to do with simple math. So, just some fun things that I would really love to share with you guys. I've been sewing longer than I've been knitting and crocheting. Not consistently, but I started sewing first. I learned how to sew when I was 17 or 18 years old, somewhere in that range. And I've made everything from purse linings to evening wear and wedding dresses. I've made everything, and I love, love, love sewing. Yeah, sewing tank dresses, super easy, just and in the right fabrics, just like we talk about the right fabrics with knitting and crochet. You want something that has amazing drape. Well, the same is true with sewing. If you find fabrics that have the right drape, you can make simple shapes look beautiful too. Sharon's husband sews. That's awesome. And then coordinating knit and crochet pieces with sewn pieces. I just think, yes, it's all in the drape, Grace, absolutely. Even in this type of a top, this top would not look the same if it was in a stiff fabric. It wouldn't fold the same for the epaulets. It wouldn't flow the same. I mean, yeah, it's all in the drape of the fabric. A stiff fabric looks boxy and makes you look huge. A fluid fabric with great drape can, brush over your curves and still have movement and look way more figure flattering on any size. Yeah, so that's my long-term future goal. Nothing that's going to happen tomorrow. More, more in our more immediate future. I'm trying to get back into the studio right now and make more tutorial videos. Uh, um, yeah, Kim, it's super fun. Yep, it'll be super fun. Whether it's no pattern or very minimal patterning or just using what you have already, there's lots, and even just learning how to drape. My eyes are watering again this morning. Linda likes to wear simple stretchy skirts. Yeah, now stretch fabric requires different techniques with sewing machines, but we can get into that down the road too, for sure. I do have allergies, Grace. I absolutely do. And in fact, the last week or so, Marlon and I have both had really itchy, watery eyes and have been needing eye drops, like allergy eye drops, because something's growing out here that is giving us allergy flare-ups. We don't have major allergies, but definitely have minor allergies. Seasonal allergies, alterations. Yes, that's another great subject that we can get into when it comes to sewing. Even just hand sewing, not even pulling out the machine. There's all sorts of ways to alter your garments, which brings me to another subject, altering your garments with knitting and crochet. What I've thought of is that there are outfits in my closet that are too tight because I bought them and they're too small for me now. And I thought it might be fun to at least experiment with adding knit or crochet panels to them to open up the seams and add knit or crochet panels and maybe get new life out of old clothes that are too small for me to wear. If that is something that interests you guys, let me know, because that might be something we could do immediately, because I have clothes that I either need to donate to Goodwill or figure out how to open up panels. I'd like to bring new life to some of my old clothes because I love them, but just can't get into them anymore. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. So I thought we were going to, thank you, Rita. I thought we were going to do the next stage of the knitting surgery this morning, but I forgot to grab knitting needles, so I could at least show you an update on my knit pullover in Be So Sporty yarn. I finished the bottom, yay! So I bound off the bottom, and so we've got the body done. Now, if I was going to not put sleeves on it, this would be a really easy time to just bind off both the sleeve stitches, and this is what it would look like as the sleeveless version of the pullover. But I think sleeves would be beautiful and will certainly challenge me since one side is a mess from losing my lifeline. So I've got my lifeline on this one that's been secured the whole time. And this one, when I put them back on the knitting needle the other day to try to preserve all of the stitches, I put a rubber band on there so that that wouldn't open, and I have the lifeline in there too. So double security on that side. So we could either finish it here, or we could do more surgery and add sleeves. What do you guys think? Doing surgery at this point, oh, it will be way harder. Just binding off in garter stitch would actually be the easiest fix at this point. So, but I'll leave it to you guys. Grace likes it like this. Grace, yay! That's what that's what I want to hear. I really wanted to do sleeves, but if I finish it now, then the mistake won't matter anymore, and I kind of like that idea. What I'll do is put the stitches back on the needles, add a couple of rows of garter stitch like I did on the bottom here. You can see there's that stockinette up until the end, and then there's 4 rows of garter stitch, which allows for the fabric to lay flat. It won't curl up. Garter stitch is considered a non-curling pattern, whereas stockinette and reverse stockinette are curling patterns. If anybody needs me to explain that, I'm happy to. Everybody loves it the way it is. All right, well then we may have this pattern done by the beginning of next week. I could finish that today, and the pattern's already written, so we'll get the pattern started on tech editing soon. It does look pretty as a tank top. It would definitely work both ways. I just thought that the lace sleeves was going to be really pretty. Yeah, the lace is very pretty. Do I have a name for it? Yes, I'm calling it the Mandy top. You know that old song, Mandy, you're a fine girl, what a good wife she would be? I was singing that the other day and thought, yeah, that's a good name for for the pullover. I like Spotify is my music app of choice. I used to be a Pandora girl for many, many years, and then Marlon turned me on to Spotify, and I love it. So I was listening to an oldie station on there the other day, and Mandy came on, and I was like, well, I don't think I've named anything Mandy so far. Sold. So you can look for the Mandy. I'm a fan-alo. I don't know what that means. Does that mean a fan of Manilow? What's his first name? Can't think of his first name now. Is that who sings that song? Barry Manilow? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Maybe it is Barry Manilow that sings it. Oh, I'm a fan of all music. All music. Yesterday, the Name That Song I did was Lose Yourself from Eminem, and I thought it was very funny how many people had no idea what song I was playing. Didn't realize I could find sheet music for a rap song either. That was pretty awesome. I love Barry Gibb too. I love the Bee Gees. We did a Bee Gees song. Barry's Oh Mandy, You Came in. Yeah, I love Barry, man. I love that song, Mandy. Today I'm going to be posting a song, probably right after the podcast, that is one of my favorite modern songs. Hopefully you can guess that one. I love the Eagles too. We did Desperado one day on the Name That Song game. That one has a really cool piano part. Yep, so that's been lots of fun too. All right, so Mandy knit pattern is coming soon. Trixie and Paloma just came out. We have lots of new colors of Be So Sporty yarn, which is the yarn that I use for this one. This is colorway Sandcastle, but if you recall, we have tons of new colors in Be So Sporty yarn. And this pattern's going to come in, I think, 4 or 5 sizes. It has lots of sizes, so it'll fit lots of people, and that makes me very happy. Does anybody have any other questions about anything we've talked about so far? I can't get over how pretty that fern looks behind me. Oh, and I think my favorite color for making a new project for summer is I'm going to use Fern Forest because it reminds me of my fern back there, and I'm going to use it and I'm going to style it with white pants and a white tank top underneath. Won't that be beautiful? Whether I do a pullover or a vest, I think it's going to be amazing. How difficult is the top of the Mandy? The top of the Mandy is a stitch pattern that does not have alternate rows of knitting between the lace. So it's definitely on the high side of advanced beginner, but there's only a few rows of it, so it's not that, there's not a lot of rows of it. But it is really, really pretty. And the difference is you get definitely more open work when you do lace on every row than you do when you do lace on every other row. You can see the open work is definitely a little more open that way. So it's, you know, it's something to experiment with, but it is not stitches that are terribly difficult. Or there's a couple of single decreases, one double decrease, some knitting, and some yarn over. Yes, it is a beautiful view here today. The backyard looks so good. How often do you water your fern? I water my fern every day. Some of my plants need to be watered infrequently and some of them need to be watered frequently. I water the fern and the basil every day. The spider plant does not need a lot of water. I watch for the leaves to turn yellow on that one. When they lose their vibrant green and they get pale, that's when I know it's time to water them. Uh-oh, we have kitty quake going on again. We don't need a kitty quake. We don't need a kitty quake. You scare people when you do kitty quake on the tripod. I meant the knitting top you showed is good. Sandshell, let's see. Oh, Sandshell loves the knitting top. Yes, well, that is a good view too. I can't wait to wear it. I think this will also look really beautiful with white pants, white jeans. It would look beautiful with maybe even a pop of color. If you had like coral pants, I think that would be really cute. I think it'd look great with dark denim, and I think it would look great with black too. So I think there are lots of different ways you can dress this up with different colored pants and tank tops underneath. Hi Patricia. A knitted lace pattern that is more beginner recommendations, Steve wants to know. I have lots of knitting patterns on my website. You can browse them there. I have tons of knitting patterns. A knitting pattern that's similar in style to this but has lace on every other row in the lace section would be the Kimmy top, and you can find that on my website. That one is also done in Be So Sporty yarn. And this is just slightly more difficult than that one because of the nature of this lace stitch pattern, but that does not mean that it is difficult to do. Thank you, Steve. I'm glad to have you. And no, I do not miss my plants. I bought a watering can. I was pouring water on them and it was kind of drowning them because they're so little still. A lot of them are so little, so I bought a watering can with the little holes on the spout so that it is more delicate, you know, it more gently waters the plants. You know, just something cheap. Hi Cheryl Ann, good morning. Does anybody have any other questions? Yay, thank you so much for encouraging me to finish this. I'm so excited to finish my top now. We'll do long sleeves on something else. We'll do long sleeves on the next one. Oh, Stacy, I read your mind. I wanted to look at the top again too. I suppose I could throw it on over my top. It won't look the same as when it's done, but you can get an idea. So this comes in like 5 sizes, starting with size 34-inch bust, and I made the 38-inch bust. So there you can see how the lace is going to look. Almost looks like a necklace, doesn't it? It's so pretty. And then, I said it's not blocked yet, it's not washed yet, but It'll probably be maybe slightly longer than that, but even if it's only that length, this is actually the length that I really wanted. I didn't want something really long. I wanted something where you'd still see my jeans underneath it. What's nice about this type of top is that once you're done with the lace and you work on the stockinette section, you can watch TV and not pay attention to what you're doing. Talk about a Zen project. 16 inches of stockinette, or 17 inches, depending on what size you're making, is definitely a Zen project. You can do that and be in a Zoom meeting. You can do that and be on a phone call. You can do that and marathon a show. My current obsession TV-wise is For Life, the show on ABC about the wrongfully accused prisoner Aaron Wallace, which is based on the true story Isaac Wright, executive produced by 50 Cent. I love that show, but I'm a huge 50 Cent fan anyway. Loved his other show, Power. Has anybody else watched For Life? It's really good. Very, very inspiring. Man taught himself how to become a lawyer while imprisoned, got other wrongfully accused prisoners released while he was still in prisoner, and I'm still in the first season, and he is working on getting himself released because he was wrongfully accused. Just, you know, we all have the same 24 hours in the day, and the fact that he could do that, just pull himself up by the bootstraps and hustle so hard while behind bars when he could have really just given up and felt sorry for himself. He pushed himself so hard, and I find that to be so incredibly inspiring. Because I like to hustle hard too. And so to see someone that's even doing it harder and stronger than I even do, I mean, it's humbling and inspiring to me. And so, oh, and the other one that I'm watching right now is The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan story. Is anybody watching that? I thought it was supposed to be on Netflix, but I'm watching it on ESPN now, and I'm on episode 5. And, you know, I've been a basketball fan my whole life, and just reminiscing about that time when I'm from Detroit, so the Detroit players with the bad boys, and when Michael Jordan came out, I really watched a lot of basketball in that time. And so to see the behind the scenes of it, and to see how focused and dedicated Michael Jordan was to his craft, very inspirational and motivational. So I don't know if any of you are sport fans, but The Last Dance is excellent. Does anybody have any other questions for me? A now show called Belgravia. Okay, that sounds good. Sancho's been crocheting during online meetings for 2 months. Good for you. Do you work on several projects at the same time? Sarit wants to know. Yes, I always do. And I encourage everybody else to do that too, because you can lose motivation on one project, and it doesn't mean that you've lost motivation for crafting and being creative. Sometimes you just need to change it up a little bit. And I know that sometimes people feel it's a natural reaction to feel pressure or anxiety because you've lost interest in a project temporarily. And I just want to say it is okay to set it down and work on something else until the creative juices start sparking again. Sometimes I call that back burnering a project, you know, put it on the back burner, because whatever brought you to love that project in the beginning will come back again. You just need to let it go so that you don't hang on to any anxiety about the fact that you've lost interest in it. Instead of feeling upset with yourself or the project or whatever, just put it aside, grab something that's more exciting at the moment, work on that, and as long as you keep momentum and keep the excitement and keep the creative juices flowing, you will regain interest in that first project. So, and there's also different levels of skill that you may feel like working on. In the morning when you're fresh and you have lots of time to yourself, you might want to work on something a little more intricate. In the evening when you're tired or relaxing and watching TV, you may want something really simple to work on then. So having different skill levels, or having different types of projects going, is also really wonderful too. Yes, Cheryl Ann, sometimes you just might want to see a different color for a while. There's lots and lots of reasons to have multiple projects. So never feel guilty about having multiple projects going at one time. It is perfectly fine, and there's lots of reasons to do it. Constance, the show about the lawyer is called For Life, and it is on ABC and on demand. I think 12 episodes have been released already, and next week is the first season finale. How do you block a shrug? Depends on the shrug, Leanne. Sometimes shrugs, like I've shown before in here, can literally be folded in half, and when they can be folded in half, they can still lay flat really well for blocking. A dress form is helpful for blocking them, but you know, a white one. It doesn't matter what color your shrugs are, Leanne. Any color doesn't matter. You're welcome, Nora. It doesn't really matter which shrug, but if you're having to double a fabric to lay it flat to dry while it's wet, circulating air will certainly help. Putting something that's moisture absorbent, like a towel underneath, will also help draw out much of the moisture. And you can even change out that towel as you're, oh, something's in my eye. You can even change out that towel as it's drying. Yeah, the new white one, Jillian, is one that folds in half easily. So if you fold it in half, you can get the shape pretty close. You can get the finished shape when you're laying it flat, and then you just get some circulating air on it and maybe put a towel underneath, and that should work really well for getting it to dry quickly. But you could also use a dress form. Depending on how wet or how damp it is, you can put it on. It is hot right now. Hopefully that helps. No, Sarit, you're not the only one with multiple projects at the same time, and I think it's good for you too. Joyce, I'm glad you love Be So Baby yarn. That's awesome. You know, that's something we could do here one morning. I could set up a table and block several pieces if you would like me to do that. Just show you how I reshape something and lay it flat to dry. Sometimes for the shawls it requires pinning. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes just after you wash it, just laying it flat to dry when you're like reblocking, you know, after you've worn something a few times. Yeah, great. No problem, Joe. I could even do it. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. I just set up a folding table, like a card table out here. Throw some towels down and go for it. Nora Sue, do not, yes, please release all guilt for not finishing a project before starting another one. Absolutely. What's my favorite yarn? Whatever yarn I'm working with at the moment. I think there's a yarn for every project and a project for every yarn. Yeah, well, you know what? We'll block several pieces tomorrow morning. How does that sound? We'll do a variety of things. You know, and it doesn't matter if they're brand new, because once you wear something, you need to wash it. So it's the same process. When will I have the video up for the Thalia dress? I don't know. I don't have a release date right now. Soon. Yeah, sure. I'll show you guys how to wash, block, and shape your pieces for sure. Hi, Robin. Is there a proper way to store crochet hooks? You know, I think the most important thing is store them in a way that you can easily find them. I don't know about you, but I have a problem losing them, right? So having a storage bag, like the way I sell the crochet hook toolkit, it comes in a really nice sheer zippered pouch bag. That's a great way for storing them so that you can see them and have access to them. But whatever works for you. If you have a space that's dedicated to craft in your house and you just want to keep them in a large cup like you keep utensils in the kitchen, you could do that too. I do not own any furls hooks. I don't know anything about them. I know that they're, well, actually I do know. I do know that they're handmade, and I know that they're very expensive, but I have never tried one. Martina has a hook that's snagging her yarn. What kind of material is it made out of, Martina? I'm guessing it might be bamboo or wood, but if you could answer me, might give you some ideas. Hi, Melanie. It's metal and it's snagging your yarn. If you can get some fine grit sandpaper, you could probably get rid of the snag on there, but you're going to need to understand what fine grit sandpaper is. So if you don't understand what I mean, you'll need to ask somebody that, I don't know what number off the top of my head, but you don't want something rough because it'll scratch your hooks. You want something that will more polish them. You could even start with a magic eraser and see if that will polish it. But if, oh, something's in my eye. But if a magic eraser isn't enough to polish off whatever burr is on the metal, then you might need to go to a very fine sandpaper. So start with a magic eraser and then you'll work your way up. Well, I don't know how bad it is. If it's really bad, then maybe yes, you might want to ditch it. But if it's not too bad, I think there are ways. Yeah, a fine nail file. Yep, you could try a nail buffer. Yeah, the nail buffer kind. Grace is suggesting using paper for metal. Paper, you mean like, I'm not sure what, like, I'm not sure what you mean. Paper sand, you mean sandpaper? Yeah, I think a very fine grade sand, 800 grit. Thanks, Judy. I didn't know what number to shout out. Trina says anything over 1,000 will get the burr off the needle. There you go. So now that we have some numbers, I couldn't think of the numbers off the top of my head. Oh yeah, my eyes could still be scratched from yesterday. That's true too, lady. And putting mascara on does not help. Joyce got a crochet hook caught in the vacuum cleaner once. Wow, I hope you didn't damage your vacuum cleaner. Jill uses the fine side of a nail file. Yeah, whatever works, guys, but it's definitely involving some sort of sanding or polishing. Definitely. And the things that we just mentioned would also work on wood or bamboo too. Yep, or you could purchase another hook. That's true too, Martina. Most of the time, crochet hooks are not that expensive. But if you feel like fooling around with it and trying to fix it, I think there have been some great suggestions here. So thanks everybody for participating with the suggestions. That's great, great collaborative effort. So that could be a fun DIY project maybe. All right, well, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with us. Right, Bjorn? Are you happy too? Are you glad everybody stopped by to see us? If you like the podcast, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe to my channel. Share with your friends if you like. Right? Do we want people to share? Yes. Yeah, we want people to share and come back and visit us, right? Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.